Created resources in Terraform, but how do you get their IDs, let's say DNS names or IP addresses? That's where outputs come in. In this video, I'll show you how to expose values, use sensitive outputs, and consume outputs like a pro. So let's get started with today's demo. I've already downloaded the Terraform configuration for it. I'll be providing the link. I have applied the configuration, so all of my resources are complete. So if you look at it, I've got my resources, a module, a web security group, a load balancer security, basically all the resources. Now I've got an outputs.tf file, which is where you generally store your outputs, and I'll show you how you can create your first output by pasting the configuration here. So if you can see an output, VPC ID, description, you can give a description, and value is coming from the module VPC, and you want the attribute, the VPC ID of that module. So whenever you, even though there's no change in the configuration, you will always, whenever if there are no change in the resources, whenever you change the configuration, you have to apply. And once you do that, you will see the outputs now. It'll always be with a plus, and I should have given auto approve, and you can see the output. See, it's a VPC ID. That's good. We will be adding the description is optional, but it would be good because if there's anything custom, then you might forget it. So give a description to your outputs as well. So you can see I've now added the outputs load balancer URL and also the web server count, and we have seen it in the variable types as well. You can use these expressions, the length, to find out how many instances are the count of instances for these things. So let's again apply Terraform and see the change in the outputs. And we can then move on to querying the outputs. I'll just show you in a second. Yes, so you can see that there's changes to the outputs. You can see that the load balancer URL and a web server count, which is 4. Now you can also query it if using the command using Terraform output. You can see that it's got these 3. Okay, there are 3 outputs which we have added. You can also query it per individually using the name of the output, and you can see that by default the name, the value of the is with the codes, right? If you are trying to use this somewhere in your workflow or a pipeline, and you want to get rid of the codes, you can use -raw. This is how you can query your outputs. That is about querying the outputs. Now if I was showing there were web server instances, there's a VPC, and we've also got a database instance. Allocated storage is 5, all these configurations of the resources. Now we will be adding the outputs of the DB user and the password, and because these are sensitive, there is an attribute that you can add to the output, which is sensitive equal to true, and that will redact your outputs when you try to do a Terraform output. So let's quickly do a Terraform apply, and let's try to do Terraform. So you see that it is a sensitive value. If I just do Terraform output, you should see that it will be redacted, it's sensitive. But if you do query it, it will still be giving you the value. So yeah, that is about the sensitive thing. So even though it's sensitive, I mean, yeah, we will come to that part later, but you would still be able to expose it if you try to access it with each individual value, right? People can still get it. Now we can also cover the machine readable output. what we can do is by just passing the flag minus JSON. Again, this is again a data structure which can be useful if you are doing something within your pipeline. You want to use it somewhere else within your pipeline, right? So this is how you can get the values of your resources once they are created. Instead of hard coding it, you can just get it using, you can expose them using the outputs in your modules, and they can be used by the other modules which are using them. So for example, you can, these are there in the let's just say you can actually do it in a child module, so that from the root model also you can expose it. That's it. That's how you can use outputs in Terraform. Please let me know if you have any feedback. I'll be providing the description for the demo where you can clone the repository and do it all yourself. And also, as if this has got quite many resources, when you are doing this lab, make sure you are authenticated. This is an AWS provider. Make sure you are authenticated and do destroy. I did forget to destroy it the other day, and then I've got a bit of a bill. So because they are quite many resources, and if you leave them for a few days, you'll get a surprising bill. So please do destroy it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.